Hello friends, welcome to this video session of vapor compression system, theoretical cycle and use of pH and TS chart. My name is Mr. S.V. Kumbar, Assistant Professor, Sharad Institute of Technology College of Engineering, Yadrao, Ichalkaranchi. So today we will see what is the use of pH chart while solving numerical. Before that, we will take quickly a revision of vapor compression refrigeration system. So a vapor compression refrigeration system is an improved type of air refrigeration system in which a suitable working substance that is called as refrigerant is used. It condenses and evaporates at a temperature and pressure close to the atmospheric condition. The refrigerant usually used for this purpose are ammonia, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide. Nowadays, we are using R134A as refrigerant in refrigeration purpose. The refrigerant used does not leave the system, so it acts as a closed system, but it is circulated throughout the system, alternately condensing and evaporating. The evaporating, the refrigerant absorbs its latent heat from the brine, that is salt solution, which is used for circulating it around the cold chamber. When condensing, it gives out its latent heat to the circulating water to the cooler. The vapor compression refrigeration system is therefore a latent heat pump, as it pumps its latent heat from the brine and delivers it to cooler. The vapor compression refrigeration system is nowadays used for all purpose refrigeration. It is generally used for all industrial purposes, from a small domestic refrigerator to a big air conditioning plant. So the figure shows a simple vapor compression refrigeration system in which there are four important components. First, compressor; second, condenser; third, expansion valve; fourth, evaporator. One more component is shown, that is receiver, which is used to store liquid refrigerant temporarily. In compressor, generally reciprocating compressor is used. Here, vapors of refrigerants are compressed, due to which it is converted into high pressure, high temperature vapors of refrigerant. This high pressure, high temperature vapors of refrigerant, it then flows through condenser where heat is rejected to cooling medium, either air or water. So as its boiling point is low, it is converted into high pressure liquid mixture, vapor mixture. So this high pressure liquid vapor mixture is temporarily stored, and then it is sent to expansion valve where its pressure drops down considerably. So after flowing through expansion valve, it is converted into low pressure, low temperature liquid refrigerant. When it flows through insulated chamber, that we call as it as refrigerator, where in evaporator it absorbs the heat energy from an object which is to be cooled. As the boiling point of refrigerant is low, it is converted to low pressure vapors. These low pressure vapors are sent back to compressor, and again the cycle continues. So this is the description of figure that we had already studied. Now use of enthalpy chart. So pressure versus enthalpy, that is pH chart, is used in refrigeration for solving numerical. Before going to start, we will quickly introduce pH chart. So this is pressure enthalpy chart on which there is a one curve, saturation liquid line and saturated vapor line. These two lines, it meets at one point, that is critical point. So from this critical point to this left hand side, it's a saturated liquid. From this critical point to right hand side, it's a saturated vapor liquid line. In between these two regions, there is a wet vapor region. Here, subcooled liquid region. It's a critical pressure. At critical point, critical pressure is there. This is superheated vapor region. So there are 4 to 5 types of vapor compression cycle. First, cycle with dry saturated vapor after compression. Second, cycle with wet vapor after compression. Third, cycle with superheated vapor after compression. Fourth, cycle with superheated vapor before compression. And fifth, cycle with undercooling or subcooling of refrigerant. So advantages and disadvantages of vapor compression refrigeration system. So first advantage of vapor compression system is it has smaller size for the given capacity of refrigerant. Even if we use this small sized vapor compression refrigeration cycle for chilling of water purpose, in automobile air conditioning purpose, so it has many advantage. Second, it has less running cost as compared to other refrigeration system. It has less running cost. It can be employed over large range of temperature. The coefficient of performance is quite high in case of vapor compression refrigeration system. But talking on disadvantage, its initial cost is high. The prevention of leakage of the refrigerant is the major problem in vapor compression system. Now, theoretical vapor compression cycle with dry vapor after compression. Now, this pH and TS chart is drawn here. So, first 1 to 2 curve represent compression, right? So, this line already we have studied. It's a saturated vapor line. So, vapors of refrigerants are compressed up to saturation pressure, saturation liquid, saturation vapor. Here, from 2 to 3, it is condensed at constant pressure. After condensation, it flows through expansion valve where it is expanded. That's why pressure drops down. So low pressure, low temperature liquid refrigerant flows through evaporator where heat is absorbed from the object which is to be cooled, and the cycle continues. Similarly here, a vapor compression cycle with a dry saturated vapor after compression is shown on this pH and TS diagram. At point 1, let T1, P1 and S1 be the temperature, pressure and entropy of the refrigerant respectively. Now, we know that the refrigerating effect or heat absorbed or heat extracted by the liquid vapor refrigerant during the evaporation rate is given as RE is equal to H1 minus H4, that is H1 minus HF3, where HF3 is sensible heat at a temperature T3, that is enthalpy of liquid. It may be noticed that from the cycle that liquid vapor refrigerant has extracted heat during evaporation, and the work will be done by the compressor for isentropic compression for the high pressure and temperature vapor refrigerant. So coefficient of performance is given by refrigerating effect divided by work done, that is H1 minus H4 divided by H2 minus H1, that is equal to H1 minus HF3 upon H2 minus H1. We will require this formula while solving numerical. Now it's time to solve numerical. So a problem is given that the temperature limit of an ammonia refrigeration system are 25 degrees centigrade and minus 10 degrees centigrade. If the gas is dry at the end of compression, calculate coefficient of performance of cycle assuming no undercooling of the liquid ammonia. Use following property and one table is given. Temperature 25 minus 10, liquid heat kilojoule per kg 298.9, and at minus 10 it's 135.37. Latent heat 1166.94, and at minus 10 1297.68. Liquid enthalpy 1.1242 at 25 degrees centigrade, 0.5443 at minus 10 degrees centigrade. So what is given? T2 is equal to T3 is equal to 25 degree, it is given. Try to convert it in Kelvin. 25 plus 273, that is 298 Kelvin. T1 is equal to T4 is equal to minus 10 degrees centigrade, that is 263 Kelvin. HF3, that is H4 is given as 298 kilojoule per kg. This is the data. H4. HFG2, that is 1166 0.94 kilojoule per kg. SF2, that is 1.12, this is liquid entropy, 1.1242 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. HF1, 135.37 kilojoule per kg, it is given in the tabulated form. So try to write down the given data. We have to calculate coefficient of performance, that is COP. Now how to obtain? First of all, try to draw its pH and TS diagram. So let's say x1 is dryness fraction at 0.1. Here dryness fraction at 0.1. Now we know that entropy at 1 is given as S1 is equal to SF1 plus X1 HFG1 upon T1. So SF1 is given as 0.5443 plus X1 into 1297.68 divided by 263. Therefore, after solving, we will get 0.5443 plus 4.934 x1. Similarly, at point 2, S2 is equal to SF2 plus HFG2 divided by T2. Here, x1 will be equal to 1. That is 0.5443 plus 116.94 divided by 298. S2 is 5.04. Now since the entropy at point 1 is equal to entropy at point 2, here on TS diagram entropy at point 1 is equal to entropy at point 2. Therefore equate these two equations, we will get the value for x1. Therefore 0.5443 plus 4.934 x1 is equal to 5.04, which is equal to x1 is equal to 0.91. After getting x1, we have h1, that is enthalpy at point 1 is equal to hf1 plus x1 hfg1, that is 135.37 plus 0.91 into 1297.68, that is 1316.26 kilojoule per kg. Similarly, enthalpy at 2, h2 is equal to hf2 plus hfg2, which is equal to 298.9 plus 1166.94, which is equal to 1465.84 kilojoule per kg. Now coefficient of performance is given by h1 minus hf3 divided by h2 minus h1, that is 1316.26 minus 298.9 divided by 1465.84 minus 1316.26. That is coefficient of performance is 6.8, which is our answer. So in this way we can solve numerical based on refrigeration cycle. Now the question will be definitely on coefficient of performance. Okay, so this is all about today's video lecture. Thank you very much.